would give them the AFC East and as good a chance as any conference team of making it to the big game. Tom Brady waiting his turn. Chad Morton, number 4 in the NFL, with 2 touchdown returns to his credit, averaging 26-1. Waits the kick of Adam Vinatieri. The hero of last year's Super Bowl run, who got a big new contract out of it.
I was talking to Mike Westhoff on the field before the game, the special teams coach of the Jets, and Chad Morton is not just a special kick returner, but he's a big part of their punt return team and a big part of their special teams overall, as well as a good change of pace third down back.
And what a wonderful special teams coach Mike Westhoff has been over the years. Morton from the 7. Morton across the 30 to the 31.
This is excellent field position for Chad Pennington. Now, Chad Pennington is a quarterback. Now, he's got to remember something. He has not seen Ty Law and Terrell Buckley. So it's up to him tonight to find out who these guys are going to be man-to-man on. And if he catches either one of them on Santana Moss, I got to believe he has to go there. But Ty Law, to me, is one of the better corners in the National Football League.
Curtis Martin and Richie Anderson behind Chad Pennington. Martin. Flag is down in the area normally called for holding. And it is.
Holding, offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's the Pro Bowl center, Kevin Mawai.
The Jets offensively are a football team that have found themselves really under Chad Pennington. He's been the catalyst, completing almost 70% of his passes, only has had 21 sacks. Lavernius Cole is his big play guy, and getting Dave Zott back on the offensive line has really given them stability and leadership. It's important that they control the tempo of this game early and don't let the Patriots make a lot of big plays so that they get momentum going against them.
Anderson goes to the slot. Martin again. Nothing this time.
Well, you look at this defense, and one of the things you do know about them, I said that they were, 30th this year in rushing offense. Well, they're 29th in rushing defense. So one of the things that this team has not been able to do is stop the run. The first 2 plays we saw the Jets, they ran Curtis Martin. Got an excellent run the first run. That one they got no yardage. But this defensive line and linebackers have to not only stop them at the line of scrimmage, but make tackles.
They gave up 238 on the ground last week to Tennessee. Pennington to throw. Anderson in the flat. Dives to the 28-yard line.
This is the thing that I think Chad Pennington does so well. He's the son of a coach. He's been around football. He understands it. He looks downfield, doesn't have what he wants, knows exactly where his outlet people are. In this case, it's Richie Anderson. Don't force it, especially early in the game when you're backed up in your own end. If the defense has to go play for you, let them do their job.
He's still facing 3rd and long. Santana Moss checks into the ball game. Pennington underneath. Moss can't get away, dragged down at the 33-yard line. Excellent coverage by Roman Pfeiffer, the outside linebacker.
Well, the one thing you like about it is they don't make a mistake, and most coaches will tell you there's nothing wrong in punting the football. Go ahead and punt the ball. And you got the first series of downs, you had a setback, you had a penalty, you couldn't get the first down. Go ahead, that's easy.
Matt starts to kick it away. Troy Brown waits deep. Returnable kick, but it bounces backwards and will be down by the Jets at the 33. A kick of only 33 yards.
You heard Paul talk about the running game of the New England Patriots. It still revolves around Tom Brady. a nice touchdown to interception ratio, but he's got his work cut out for him as well, going against Robinson and Abraham. Two very capable corners. The big thing is, are the receivers going to be able to hold on to the ball, and will the New England Patriots be willing to take some shots downfield? I don't believe they can make a living tonight on just 4- and 5-yard completions with their little guys.
Antoine Smith gets the first carry. Battles his way across the 35-yard line. Sam Cowart got him there.
The New England Patriots need to be able to balance their attack a little bit. One of the things they were able to do last year in their Super Bowl run was establish the run. Antoine Smith doesn't have to run for 150 yards, but he has to be able to gain enough yards to keep the pressure off of Tom Brady.
Jets defensive line rather porous at the start of the season. They've stepped it up lately, though. Now Smith on the toss, and John Abraham did a nice job of playing it outside, cutting it back in, and help from Garnes.
Well, one of the things when you take a look at this New York Jet defense is I like the corners, Beasley and Abraham, and Sam Garnes is a tough safety. Up front is where these guys are, I think, are very good. And I think their linebackers with Lewis Jones and Sam Cowart really give them some stability as far as the front seven are concerned.
3rd and 5. Brady with a quick set and throws behind Antoine Smith.
At this stage of the game, I'd say advantage Jets. If you're going to look at this ball game, the Jets are on the road, hostile environment, big football game. They need to be able to keep this crowd just a little bit quiet. And Santana Moss is a guy who can make a play for him, especially when he's not backed up to his own goal line.
Moss, number 1 in the NFL in punt returns. He has 2 touchdowns, averaging nearly 18 yards a return. And Ken Walter is back to punt.
You're going to now see speed, folks.
Walter hangs that one up there. Flag is down. Moss at the 19. Makes the first man miss. Got a block. And then buried at the 26. Will check the marker. A return of 7 after a 43-yard punt.
This could be one of those where the gunner was run out of bounds and continued to stay there. You have to try and get back on the field if you're coming down to cover a kick.
Member of the kicking team ran out of bounds and back onto the field without being obstructed. Number 30, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
I tell you, when you've got a guy like Santana Moss back there, you want to return it again.
Well, I remember.
There's no hesitation.
I remember when we talked to the Patriots when we did that Raider game. One of the things that Bill talked about is really Belichick talked about is being able to control somebody back there with speed like that. But Herman Edwards says you give Santana Moss 6 punt returns. One of them's coming back for a touchdown.
Yeah, but if I'm Ken Walters now and I'm the kicker and I'm kicking to this guy, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to kick it to the left-hand side as close to the sideline as I can. And I'm not going to let him run the ball back. Don't kick it to him.
Sure.
I'm telling you, don't kick it to him. Kick it out of bounds.
In theory.
I don't think Tony Corretti's explanation was quite correct. I think he left out a knot in there somewhere. That's why there was a penalty. Returnable kick this time. Moss at the 24. Look at that speed. Holy cow, got a great block on the corner.
I said don't kick to him.
Saved by Ken Walter, the punter, after a return of 31. And boy, when he starts upfield, it is goodbye. Kerry Campbell with a good block at the sideline. 0-0 first quarter from New England. Jets with their second possession, and they'll start in Patriots territory after the fine return. Chad Pennington, his first career starts, the highest completion percentage in NFL history. Play action to Martin this time. Out in the flat to Anderson. Check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, every week, Chad Pennington tries to come up with something to inspire his team. And he said he went over and over in his head this week. What should I say? And then he realized there's nothing that needs to be said. He said that Wednesday and Thursday, practice was awfully quiet. He was a little worried. Are we flat? But then when they watched film, he realized, no, they were so on point. Everybody was just perfect. And he said, no time to talk. It's time to be professional, be accountable, and just get your job done.
And time to complete more passes, Susie. He's hit his first 3. Curtis Martin, who has fought a high ankle strain all year long, still comes into this game with 905 yards rushing. A chance for another 1,000 yards. He had 1,000 his first 7 years in the league. Only Barry Sanders has ever done better than that. He had 10 first 10 years.
You know what? When we talk about 1,000 yards in today, if you're playing 16 games, I don't think that's a barometer. I think you're looking at 1,500 is the number.
I agree with you if you're a full-time back. But now they rotate so many backs through, like an Emmitt Smith situation, or a Deuce Staley, 1,000 is a lot.
Or if you've been hurt, like Curtis Martin. Pennington into double coverage, caught anyway, touchdown. Lavernius Coles, 32 yards.
Victor Green is right in position to make a play on this ball, and it goes right over his head. Victor Green was the free safety who was back there and just went right over his head. Leonard Myers gets beat. Left part of your screen. This is what the Titans hurt him with last week. Just hang it up high. There it is. Watch Victor Green. He's in position and just doesn't get back far enough. This is the responsibility of the safety. He's back there for a reason.
Yeah, but you talk about concentration by Lavernius Coles. Man.
Lavernius Coles' career has really taken off with the emergence of Chad Pennington. They have developed a special relationship. Lavernius Coles now over 1,100 yards this year receiving. The Jets are up by a touchdown. Thank you, Santa. We'll see you on Wednesday. Couldn't do much better than Pennington did on the opening drive. Hit them all for 51 yards and a score. John Hall will now kick it away. Redmond and Falk are deep. Kevin Falk from the 14 on a short kick. Falk trying to outrun Hall. No contest. Kevin Falk, touchdown, 87 yards. 7 yards. Touchdown. Patriots.
You know, first of all, it's a short kick. But watch him jump through the pile. Look at all the guys there. Watch him jump in the air. He jumps through the pile, and once he gets to the outside, all he has is the kicker. And John Hall is not about to catch this guy. Kevin Falk, when he sees the goal line, he knows that Hall means nothing.
You can almost hear the Patriots thinking, I know you guys come in with 2 punt returns for touchdowns and 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, but I got your special teams right here. It's 7-7 in New England. It's already Lavernius Coles from Chad Pennington for a touchdown, and then Kevin Falk takes it all the way back on the kickoff.
How about Kevin Falk? That's the last 2 touchdowns, return for kickoff touchdowns on Sunday night. The last one was against the Raiders when he did it. 2 for 2. He's got to love Sunday night.
And now you got to be sitting here saying, all right, you got one of the best in Chad Morton. He's got a couple. Is it his turn to answer?
Plus Santana Moss, we had a nice punt return from him. Now it's kickoff return time.
Kevin Falk is a guy, he's only run the ball 42 times. Antoine Smith sort of became the featured back in this offense, and they sort of pushed him on the back burners. And he's been making a lot of contributions in a lot of different ways to this football team. And that's the way the New England Patriots started their playoff run a year ago. Getting contributions from their defense and their special teams, with the offense holding up their end as well. This is truly a football team.
It's a slight delay, and now we are ready to go. Vinatieri will tee it up again, and Morton is deep to receive.
Pro Bowl, Vinatieri.
Yeah, absolutely. Morton from the 9. Not this time. Driven out of bounds shy of the 30. There's a flag down.
During the return of the kick, holding, receiving team number 81. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Chris Baker called for the hold, and that will back up the Jets. Pennington in only his 3rd year out of Marshall, a Rhodes Scholar finalist.
You talk to me, you think he's in his 10th year.
Yeah, exactly.
He really is. He's something.
Martin is the single setback. 3 wide receivers, including Richie Anderson. Pennington, Wayne Corbett, nice reverse. Corbett out of bounds. Corbett had that crushing fumble a week ago that may have cost them a game in Chicago.
Vrabel, number 50, should have had this ball. And I know, Joe, you're looking at the same thing.
Yep.
He's in a position to make the play. And watch where this ball goes. You're going to see number 50 right there. He thought he had it. Corbett makes the catch.
He really isn't the go-to guy a whole lot anymore. Lavernius Cole has become the guy, but you cannot ignore Wayne Corbett.
Curtis Martin straight ahead to the 40. We've already seen how emotional Pennington can be. We asked him about his emotions, and do they help him in a big rivalry game like tonight?
I definitely get fired up. I have a lineman mentality, and really I'd love to go hit somebody, but I can't. I have to stay calm and complete a few passes. But it'll be exciting, and I'll be fired up, ready to go. But really I think that makes me focused. That makes me more focused. That makes me take the energy to the field and let my guys in the huddle see that I have confidence in them.
2nd and 7, Martin gets about 3.
You know what else he loves to do? He loves to go head-to-head with his players. He likes to bang like linemen and stuff. He's a different mentality to this guy.
He is, and he plays with emotion until he crosses the white lines. Then when you talk to him, you listen to him talk about the game, he's very cerebral and is in total command. He plays with a confidence, not a cockiness, but a confidence during the game.
3rd and a short 5. They're on their feet in New England. Flags are down.
False start. Offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's Santana Moss.
This is one of the problems you have. Santana Moss is so far away from the call. He really can't see it. He's focusing on what's ahead of him. Now he makes a little bit of a flinch, and they call it illegal motion. I think when you're in a hostile environment, the crowd is screaming, you get to the line of scrimmage and you get the ball off. Don't stand there.
Well, he was just trying to get himself in the track stance.
I know. They call that flinching. The flinching track stance.
After the penalty, 3rd and 10, Patriots show blitz, and they come. Pennington throws on the run. Anthony Beck, the big tight end, stopped maybe a yard shy of a first down. There's a flag down. Back around where Pennington threw, and it's a hold.
Willie McGinnis, number 55, is the guy that brings pressure. And Jason Fabini has to try and block him. And this is the kind of a game that a Willie McGinnis just gets pumped up for. It's the Jets. Everything's at stake. They know they're the defending champions. It's national television.
Choice here.
Everything's on the line.
4th and 1 or 3rd and 19.
There goes 55 outside. Just staying there, doesn't quite make the sack, causes the pressure, winds up getting the hold called on Fabini.
Well, this is not a first down, so I don't...
Offense, number 69, 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
So they choose 3rd and 19 instead of 4th and 1 because it's close to midfield, and who knows, the Jets might go for it.
Herm Edwards is the kind of a coach that figures why not. He's taken chances before. I like this decision to take the penalty. Now, I don't want to see New England just rush 3 and drop 8, because then you give a chance for some of these smaller receivers with a lot of speed to catch and run with the ball.
This is the old 3rd and 20, either screen or draw. Again, it's not a sin to punt.
I've seen more 3rd and 20s made than I have 3rd and 1s.
Well, you've been around a long time.
4-man rush. Pennington dumps it to Anderson. He takes it back to the 37. They'll still have to punt. Roman Pfeiffer made the stop.
You know what we're seeing here tonight, guys? You remember the Miami-Denver game when they just start laying each other out?
Absolutely.
All night long? Well, that's exactly what we're watching here tonight, watching these guys go after each other.
You think it'll end that way?
Field goal?
Field goal?
Yes. No, not field goal, field goal, field goal.
Oh, okay.
One field goal.
Turn to kick to Brown.
You're tired.
At the 25. Brown takes it to the 33, an 8-yard return after a 38-yard punt. Action galore, first quarter, 6:18 to go. We're tied at 7. Rated in 1778. Didn't build their first stadium here till a few years after that. Tom Brady, who led this franchise to a Super Bowl victory a year ago, 10-3 at home in his brief career. Brady has this one batted down at the line of scrimmage. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, in Tom Brady's first full season as a starter, his teammates have seen maturity in so many different areas. Just the progress he's made, knowledge of the game, leadership. The guys really rally around him. They trust his understanding of the defense, and Bill Belichick points to the improvement in managing the game, and he's actually seeing things quicker than they do, which is really saying something.
Susie took over for the injured Drew Bledsoe last year. Everybody thought it was just temporary. It turned out to be permanent. Antoine Smith taken down by Coward as he reaches the 36.
One of the things Tom Brady talked about coming into this year, last year was such a whirlwind for him. Winds up getting the job, then goes on, winds up winning the Super Bowl, being an MVP. He said his biggest concern also was he just didn't want to be a one-year wonder. Well, he's certainly proven that's not the case.
You like the fact that the guy takes the job and won't give it up.
I like when you seize opportunity.
You bet. Pennington's the same thing on the other side.
Vinny Testaverde stand and watch it because of it.
3rd and 6. Donald Hayes, number 81, is in as a wide receiver. Blitz coming. Brady has this one batted down in his face. Sam Garnes, the strong safety, was about 5 inches away.
Well, you know, and when they sent the blitz, they sent it all from the right side of New England's offense, the left side of the defense, and you're going to see Sam Garnes, number 42. Look over on the right-hand side. This is where they all come from. And then Sam Garnes just times it perfectly, gets up in the air. Look at, they're all on the right-hand side of Tom Brady, left-hand side of the defense.
Christian Fourier, number 88, couldn't make the block, and that was the difference. They thought they had it blocked. He beat him.
Walter, whose first punt had a net of 10 yards, unloads one this time. Moss over the shoulder, back to the 12. A 12-yard return on this after a 58-yard punt.
Jason Glenn had a shot at that. Jason Glenn winds up getting a piece of this ball, and Ken Walters still managed to get an unbelievable kickoff.
7-7, first quarter in New England. 5:20 to go, first period from New England. Jets and the Patriots tied at 7. Out of the eye this time, and now Anderson shifts into the slot. Curtis Martin, nice cutback, but taken down at the 28. Check in with Chris Berman. Welcome back, Boomer.
Mike, their first meeting this year was a 1-point win by the Chargers over the Chiefs. So why should this be different? Michael Kamahostahu said, good. Field goal 38 yards, just over a minute to go, 24-22 Chiefs. Drew Brees trying to rally the Chargers, but the rookie, Rashae Caldwell, who caught the winning touchdown pass in their first meeting, gets a fumble. And both teams are now 8-7 looking for help.
Thank you, Chris. The Jets are looking for help, too. They need to win their last two and hope. Beck rambling across the 40 to the 43, out of bounds there. Only two teams in the AFC have clinched so far. Oakland and Tennessee have both won their divisions. Miami and Pittsburgh continue to lead their divisions. And then there is a slew of teams. Indianapolis, New England, Cleveland, Denver, San Diego, and Kansas City, all at 8-7. The Jets, of course, at 7-7. And Baltimore, believe it or not, still alive at 7-8.
How about that cardiac Cleveland Brown football team? They use 60 minutes all the time to win.
Pennington, 7 out of 7 so far. Make it 8 out of 8. Flanker screen to Moss. Santana Moss. Corbett throws a block downfield, and Santana Moss to the 10. He can just fly.
I'm sorry, but one of the... now we got a flag at the end of this. One of the things you just do not want to do to Santana Moss is reach. Don't reach. You've got to go hit him. Here's the pass to the outside. Watch how quick his feet are. He gets some outstanding blocks downfield. But look at this. He sees the hole. He's in the hole. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, it's just like a punt return for him right now. That's where he's most effective, getting up inside and go back. And he also now winds up getting a taunting penalty. He spins the ball, and he winds up taunting. Here comes the spin. All right, they usually let you do that. That's not a problem. But now there's got to be some kind of jawing going on. Now he points, he points like it's a first down, and that's a 15-yard taunting penalty. And I got to tell you something. That is about as big a bunch of baloney as I have seen.
I mean, if you can't do that,
I mean, it really is.
That's the rule.
He didn't even do it towards a player. That's baloney.
Pennington to the sideline. Corbett with the toe dance at the 10.
Oh,
you know how important Curtis Martin is to this football team? Well, watch the fake, and then you see Chad Pennington come out. And then Corbett on the catch. But watch it. Here's Corbett on the catch. Look at here. He comes down, knows where he is. Look at him. He knows where the sideline is. That's just feel. Boom.
Old school.
Old feet.
And now we have a challenge.
Now we get to see what kind of angles.
The Patriots are going to hope that he was on the sideline.
Well, just remember, this was called a catch.
The thing's going to be is, does he step out of bounds first and then wind up bringing his foot back in and making the catch?
No, if he never puts his foot out of bounds. If it's out of bounds, then it's already out.
There's a step before that, though, before we show that.
Here's the step. There it is. Now, is it going to be irrefutable? That's going to be the question. Right there, it looks like he's in bounds again.
Right now, it's irresistible.
Well, for a Jet, it's an irresistible. Right? I think that's going to be the best look, and it looks like his feet are in bounds. I don't see anything that tells you that it's not.
But here's the point. Did he step out first, then come back?
Right there. See his left foot? You don't know whether his left foot is out of bounds.
That doesn't tell you anything either. So there is nothing conclusive about this, or nothing to overturn it. They have got to leave this a catch.
Unless we come up with an angle down the sideline that shows he did step out of bounds or did not. You can vote with us right now. Log on to ESPN.com or NFL.com. Click on the ETV logo.
Here it is there, and you see, I mean, his feet are in bounds. They can't overturn this. Unless somebody's out there with a Polaroid that we don't know about.
Tony Corrente reviewing it. 75% so far say let it stand. Of course, based on those replays, that's what they will do.
New York has a lot of people. The New York metropolitan area has a lot of people voting.
Well, this place is sold out, so they can vote.
I think it's tough to see it.
It really is. I mean, there was no angle that we have that shows that he is definitely out of bounds.
Guys, it might have been hard to see it from your angle. We were standing practically right on top of the play. It was just perfect slow motion. His feet, to me, definitely in bounds. What's funny is Wayne told me before the game he thought it would be a problem catching the ball in here, just the angle of the lights. It didn't look like he had a problem on that play.
No, this is just, first of all, knowing where you are, total concentration.
Who's the guy that did that so well? Chris Carter, right? Chris Carter sort of made that type of catch famous. Just leaning out and then maintaining possession as you hit the ground.
Well, you can even go back to Raymond Berry. He did it all
After
the time.
reviewing the play, the New York receiver had established his left foot on the ground, was able to drag his right foot while in possession with the ball. The play stands as ruled. Completed pass. First down. New England will be charged their first timeout.
Good explanation by Tony Corrente, and a heck of a catch by Wayne Corbett.
And I also agree with the challenge by Bill Belichick. I think it's one of those plays that was just close enough that you have to make the challenge before they run a play and then have a chance to look at the replays.
Jets have taken it near the 11-yard line. First down.
They got the big backfield in there.
Lamont Jordan. And in front of him, Gerald Sowell, the blocking fullback. Jordan, play action, Pennington. Pennington throws end zone, touchdown, Santana Moss.
It's almost the same type of play they ran on the pass to Quebec. It's a play action fake. This time Pennington buys room and gets outside. Here comes the play action fake. Lawyer Malloy winds up getting trapped going inside. Pennington buys time. There's the throw and catch.
Chad Pennington off to a rather good start tonight. 10 out of 10. 167 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
What do you expect? He threw for 70% in his first 10 games.
Well, tonight it's 100.
Just, you know, I'm a big stickler, like I say, on spirals. I love the way this kid throws a football. It is so easy to catch. And the thing that makes this easy for him is Santana Moss worked back towards him, so he got there before Lawyer Malloy could.
And when you're trailing Santana Moss across the end zone, you will be trailing him all the way across the end zone. You're not going to catch up.
And I'll tell you something else. If Santana Moss learns to run patterns like that, to go with his speed, look out. Let's go to Susie.
Herm Edwards is so excited about the leadership that Chad shows. It's like that of a 10-year veteran. He says you can see it in his eyes when he talks. The two of them sit down every Tuesday night just to talk, get a feel for Chad's mindset, what he wants to accomplish in a particular game. Herm said it's always about the team. There's just one goal. You might be a young guy, but he understands that delicate balance. You're going to be the quarterback, you need to be the leader, but he never wants to step on anybody's toes. And that means Vinny, because he learned a lot under Vinny in the last year that he was able to watch under him.
Now, he is a nice young man, Susie. Very respectful of Vinny, who has helped him an awful lot. Vinny has certainly not been a distraction.
Santana Moss over 100 yards total. He's got 111, 47 on a punt return, and 64 receiving.
Redmond and Falk deep again. Falk on the run. This time takes it to the 38-yard line. We talked with Pennington and asked him how Vinny has helped him with the challenge of being an NFL starter.
I respect the guy so much because I don't think I could take on this challenge without him and what he's been able to do for me and help me. Because of him, I feel confident in this challenge. I feel like I have confidence in myself. And he has taught me the ropes and showed me how to handle some things that I may not necessarily know how to handle.
So critical for a young quarterback to have a veteran who can show him how to do it, rather than have quarterbacks who are divisive. Brady. Time to throw to Smith, and Smith belted by Sam Garnes as soon as he got the ball.
The question that'll come to mind now, if you're a New England Patriots fan, is when will Charlie Wise, the offensive coordinator, decide that he doesn't want to try and run the football and start spreading it out and letting Tom Brady throw the 5- and 6-yard passes? So far, the Jets defensively and Ted Cottrell, their coordinator, have done an excellent job of not letting him get the ball to the wide receivers on the short routes.
2nd and 5. Antoine Smith on the toss. Can't quite make the corner. Does take it to the 45 where it'll be 3rd and 3. Garnes again in on the play.
Antoine Smith, I mean, once this guy gets started, then you can't go away from him early in the ball game. I just think he's such a big back, and he's got some pretty good speed. But what you have to do is continue to pound him. Now, you're only down by 7. Don't get away from your game plan, because I think their game plan was to run him.
Jets come with a blitz, and Edwards on the draw. Edwards has the first down to midfield.
I would
nice
like to
play call by the Patriots.
It is, and I'd like to know what Sam Garnes is reading, because Sam Garnes made the last 2 plays on 2 tackles, and then that time he was the backup in the backfield. So he's reading something that's tipping him off, and he's flying.
Garnes is getting a step before the ball is snapped, and he is going exactly where the ball carrier ends up.
Here he comes up again.
Brady play fake this time, throws underneath, knocked away. Aaron Beasley came up and got a hand on it. Herman Edwards wanted to upgrade that secondary last year. He got Beasley, and he got Donnie Abraham to play the corners.
We had a chance to talk to Aaron Beasley. He made a point covering receivers I thought was very interesting from a defensive back's perspective. He said what he wants to do is he wants to make receivers run at his speed. So no matter who he's covering, he manages to be able to take it up a notch or force them to slow it down a little bit.
Led the NCAA in interceptions his last year in college. Smith rumbles through this time down to the 43. Damian Robinson with the tackle.
See, when you're at 2nd and 10, and now you give the ball to Antoine Smith, and now you're looking at a 3rd and 3, you could do anything you want to do at 3rd and 3. Because a lot of teams now are starting to run the ball more at 3rd and short where they were passing it before.
And this is what allows you to keep the time of possession in your favor, something they didn't have last week.
Brady on 3rd and 3, incomplete. That was intended for Brown, and Marvin Jones, the middle linebacker, was right there.
I don't know if Brown could have caught it.
I think it ripped his left hand off, did it?
I think it was going 140 miles an hour as it came down through there. And behind him.
Check and see if there's a glove missing with a hand in it.
Bill Belichick sporting that ski instructor look tonight.
Well, and this was the problem for the Patriots against the Tennessee Titans. They lost time of possession almost 2-1 in that football game because they weren't able to convert 3rd downs.
Walter hangs this one very high. Moss lets it go, and it's into the end zone.
That'll keep it from returning it.
The net on that only 23 yards. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern this week on ESPN2. It's the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9, it's the Monday Night game. Plexico Burress and the Steelers against Warren Sapp and that great Bucs defense.
Makes you wonder a little bit, will you see Cordell Stewart in that football game? Will he be the mobile quarterback you need?
I wouldn't want to be the quarterback against those guys. Pennington, the first since Boomer Esiason in '93 to complete his first 10 in a game. Moss is in as one of 3 wide receivers.
11.
Beck. Anthony Beck to the 25-yard line. Roman Pfeiffer with another tackle for that New England defense. Pennington has hit his first 11 and has his club up by a touchdown.
Hey, it's Big Jack on the go with the best bites and the best.
And has ignored them. hitting his first 11 passes, including 2 for touchdowns, as the Jets have assumed a 14-7 lead on the New England Patriots.
A lot of times you look at a young quarterback and you find a little bit of a flaw, whether it's management, delivery, footwork. There isn't anything that I see in Chad Pennington that is a problem.
Martin dives forward to the 28. If you look at the quarterback comparison, Pennington's numbers are tremendous just by themselves, but you compare them to Tom Brady, who has really struggled early. He only has 5 yards passing. Pennington, 173 in the first quarter. That would come out to about 692.
Oh, come on.
The game. That'd be pretty good.
Well, that was the math you did was pretty good.
Thank you. Lamont Jordan, the new back. Pennington fakes it to him. Now under pressure. And this one is batted away by Tabucky Jones, intended for Chris Baker. They tried to get the tight end deep.
Well, that was the only place that Chad Pennington could go. He had no place else to throw the ball except to Chris Baker.
Hey, he finally got an incompletion.
But when you take a look at it, watch, this is not the primary target. He's looking. Now he sees the rush coming. He's got to let it go.
Bobby Hamilton was the guy applying the pressure. And now Turk to kick to Brown. Short. And will die at around the 40-yard line. A kick of only 32. Brady hoping to get untracked. His guys are down by a score. Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL, an official airline of Super Bowl 37. Skill, what's next? Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. And Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. From New England, our aerial coverage tonight, courtesy of Southwest Airlines.
Boy, this sure is a different ball game from last night's.
Where were we last night?
I don't know, but I was watching one last night that didn't quite have the intensity of this one.
New England takes over at the 40. Smith on the draw, and the Jets have done a good job on their rush defense tonight.
You know, it's been amazing watching both of these teams when they're trying to run the ball with Antoine Smith. Is straight up the middle of the field. Now, you know, I know you're not going to try to wear out the defensive line, but they're trying to run the ball up the middle. The same thing with Curtis Martin. I've not seen either one of these guys really try to get to the outside or get them to the outside.
I think that's the respect for the safeties you were talking about before. Lawyer Malloy and Sam Garnes being in places up around the corner and the edges.
Brady straight back. Dumps it over the middle. Smith dragged down by Mo Lewis. One of the best tacklers ever to play this game. He gets his hands on you, you're down.
New England needs to convert this third down for them, because what they're doing is they're starting to fall into the same kind of funk that they wound up against Tennessee on Monday night, where they weren't able to convert the first downs. Time of possession went against them, I think 18-30 to 41-30, and you're not going to score points if you don't have the football.
Four-man rush. Brady throws this one low. A bullet intended for Donald Hayes that short hops up to it.
You know what Brady's doing, Joe? He's not getting himself set to throw the ball.
Paul, you're absolutely right.
He's just back there jumping around, and you've got to depend on your offensive line that they're going to do the job so you can sit there and throw the football.
He struggled in the game we did against Oakland throwing the football. The ball got away from him a little bit. This one, he talks about wearing a glove. And because of the glove, in colder conditions and winds, he can snap the spirals off a little bit tighter. I think it's given him a little bit too tight a grip.
Walter again punts to Moss. Launched a rocket that time, and it bounces back toward the 10-yard line. Down by the Patriots, a punt of 44 yards. And Bernard Holsey, the first man down. Been a tough start for Brady. Along, little Christmas music from New England.
Frosty the Snowman.
They do it differently up here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we've even got security with a 14-7 Jets lead. Deep sideline by Pennington. That will be out of bounds. Intended for Swain.
Chad Pennington has done the exact thing Paul Hackett, the coordinator, wanted him to do. Take some time to be able to work against two deep if you see it, and if it's single high. Just make your decisions. There's Santana Moss up top, and Lawyer Malloy is the strong safety. The play action fake will hold the safety just a little bit. You'll see Lawyer just hesitate for a second. He hesitates. That gives Santana a chance to get on top. And look what Santana does at the end. Just works back towards Chad Pennington.
Curtis Martin. Little room to run that time across the 15 near the 17-yard line. They have to reach the 20 for a first down.
The one other thing I talked to Paul Hackett about regarding Chad Pennington, what he needed to do tonight, he said because Bill Belichick throws so many different looks up, he wants to make it simple for them. Read half the field. If it looks like there's one guy single high, know where you want to go. If it's two, know where you want to go. Just recognize the safeties.
They're on their feet. They're on their feet.
Richie Anderson and Lamont Jordan are in on 3rd and 3. They both split out. Pennington flanker screen to Jordan. That looked like a live ball, but it went through his hands out of bounds.
Well, when you've got a quarterback that is as accurate as Chad Pennington, I don't know if that play is very high on my 3rd down selections. He's got to throw this over the defensive end, which makes it a tougher throw, and you can see Roman Pfeiffer, number 95, zeroing in to make a play.
Well, you don't think he has bad hands, Lamont?
No, I don't think he has bad hands. It's slippery.
Another short kick. Troy Brown trying to reverse this field, dragged down near the 45-yard line. All that run for a 4-yard return. Jason Glenn wouldn't let him go any further. Timeout here in Foxborough. 14-7 Jets. In the first half, Jets on top 7-0, and it has been a very ragged start for Tom Brady. 2 out of 8, only 10 yards passing so far.
He's thrown some ugly balls, too.
Patriots score came on a kick return. 4-man rush. That time Brady throws a strike. First down at the 30. David Patton makes the catch.
He finally threw the ball down over 15 yards. That's the first time tonight that the Patriots have tried to get the ball down the field. Tom Brady has worked underneath basically 15 yards. He has to try and stretch that defense out just a little bit.
One of the few times he's had time to throw it.
Back to the I formation, Edwards and Smith. Brady under pressure, and down he goes. Pressure up the middle came from Sean Ellis and Josh Evans.
You know, I'm going to tell you what. Now, here's a case where you took out Tom Brady standing back there. This, I blame him. Even though there's coverage downfield, watch how long he holds this ball. Here he is. He's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. And then you can't expect the offensive line to hold them out that long. You've got to get rid of it.
Sean Ellis lost 15 pounds, moved from defensive tackle out to his natural position at end, and been a much bigger force for him.
Pat pushed out of bounds. How could you tell if Sean Ellis lost 15 pounds?
I read it.
Shoes. Look at his shoes.
Somebody told me. Yeah, his shoe size.
Put down one shoe size.
One shoe size. He does. I mean, he doesn't look 320, right?
What?
I mean, look, he doesn't look he looks like 295 now, does he?
There's some lumps in there that we're missing.
I think he's missing a few lumps. A little thinner.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's moving very quickly. He is thinner.
3rd and 11. Brady again knocked away by Beasley. Tremendous coverage.
Man,
that's 2 of those.
But another throw low outside. That's the 3rd one he's thrown low and away. The last one he threw out there bounced halfway there. But watch the play. Watch where the ball winds up to Donald Hayes. It's down real low.
Well, I'll
Hey,
tell
if
you
that's
what,
not low and away, it's picked.
yeah, if it was up and high where you wanted it to be, that thing was gone.
But he's been throwing you talked about it before, Paul, rushing the throws just a little bit, forcing you to yank it down low.
Vinatieri having another Pro Bowl season. He will try one from 49. Got it. Mr. Clutch knocks another one through. It's 14-10 Jets over New England. Let's check in with Chris Berman.
The New York Football Giants, Mike, are all of a sudden an offensive juggernaut. In Indy against the Colts. Oh, those tricky Giants. Flea flicker, and this ball's going to go almost 60 yards in the air. Kerry Collins, the well-dressed Amani Toomer. The Giants humble the Colts 44-27. They win next Saturday against Philly. They're in.
All right, Chris, and in the NFC, it's getting pretty simple to understand. Philadelphia, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and San Francisco, all division winners, all in. The Giants have now moved in front of New Orleans in the playoff picture. Atlanta and the Giants right now have the two top spots. New Orleans with another crushing loss waiting in the wings.
Philadelphia controls home field advantage all the way if they beat the Giants next week.
How about the New Orleans Saints? They beat Tampa twice. They beat Green Bay. They beat Pittsburgh. Then they lose to Detroit, Cleveland, Minnesota, and Cincinnati.
Ouch.
I mean, it's a team that seems to find whatever the team that they're playing is playing like, that's the level that they've managed to play at.
Well, especially when the Bengals beat somebody once every 2 months, whether they need it or not. Jordan and Morton are deep for Vinatieri's kick. Morton from the 4. Ouch. Really stuck as he got to the 29 by J.R. Redmond. Let's go to Susie.
Well, tonight, Chad Pennington hasn't just been on target. He's been distributing the ball very well, too. He's hit 5 different receivers. Here's something that helped him to do that. Back in college at Marshall, he played with Randy Moss. The two hooked up for 24 touchdown passes, which set an NCAA season record. But Chad said that having Randy forced him to use other parts of the offense because Randy was always double or triple teamed. He couldn't afford to just hone in on Randy. Had to go somewhere else. Working in the pros as well.
Everything he's doing is working, Susie. He's been spectacular tonight. That one is tipped at the line of scrimmage by Richard Seymour and incomplete.
I'll tell you what it did teach him how to do playing with Randy Moss, how to throw it hard and deep.
He'd also have a real tough time getting it to him now.
Oh, yeah.
Being that Randy's in Minnesota, it's easier with the Jets.
Be a long throw.
But he's got a Moss to throw to. It's like he gave up a Randy Moss, a big 6'4" version of it, and he got a little quick version in Santana.
And I don't know which one's faster either.
Randy's faster than anybody.
Did he put a show on yesterday against Miami?
Jets will try the ground. A neat move by Curtis Martin to make the first man give it up, but he got to the 35-yard line.
Tom Brady has not gone down the field deep much at all. Chad Pennington has taken a different approach. Susie talked about the distribution. The 1 for 2 up top to the right is a touchdown. He's worked the right side of the field, 4 for 5, 3 for 3. That's where they look like they have the opportunity. Oddly enough, that's where Ty Law normally resides.
And he spread it out. 6 to wide receivers, 2 to tight ends, 3 to backs. Draw play. Curtis Martin. First down and more.
You know, Curtis Martin means so much to this football team for the simple reason that the defense really has to respect him. Now what the Jets do is they spread everybody out, and all they have in the backfield is Curtis Martin. Look at his eyes.
Is that
and
all?
Watch him. That's all. And watch him come through that hole. I mean, here's a guy that's got outstanding feet. I mean, he's got speed. He's got hands. And his coordination is incredible, but his feet are the thing that makes him get through the hole.
Guy I've never felt got his fair share of credit. He's already number 16 all-time in the NFL in rushing. Pennington all day to throw through the hands of Wayne Corbett.
That ball was a little bit high and away, and behind, and behind.
We're talking about Wayne Corbett here.
And behind.
We're talking about Wayne Corbett. Wayne never lets him get away. This one here, he's not going to get hit. He has no fear going across the middle. He just leaps in the air. He's not done real well with his feet off the ground. It's behind him.
And behind.
Very catchable.
This is a disagreement between a quarterback and a former wide receiver, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Punter.
And I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Both former punters.
Yeah. No. Whoa. Don't even get in that category.
Sorry.
One punt, Seisman.
Martin to the 48-yard line.
You were Paul, you made a great point about Curtis Martin and his feet. And that really has been the problem for him all year. Hurt his ankle in the first game, and he's been bothered by ankle injuries. As a matter of fact, he hasn't practiced on Wednesdays and Thursdays in over a month. This week, though, he was feeling better, did practice this week, and you can see the difference when he is healthy.
It's hard to keep him out of the game because he doesn't want to be out.
One of the best conditioned athletes ever.
Well, and Jerry Rice.
Said one of.
Yeah.
3rd and 6. Blitz. They pick it up, and Pennington with time. Corbett won't let that one go. He's down to the 43.
Now, do you see the difference, Joe, when you put the ball out front of the guy and how easy it is for him to catch it?
And you know he's going to make those kind of catches. But look at the poise of Chad Pennington. Watch the blitzes come. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to sit in the pocket. I'm just going to stop it once we get there. Watch this. He sits in the pocket right there. Look at the way he has the opportunity to be able to have that little bit of a pocket comfort level to step up and throw the ball.
Great protection. Pennington again. A lot of time to throw. Goes underneath to Richie Anderson, who really hasn't been that much of a weapon this year. Only had 38 catches coming in.
Joe, you know, you talk about the protection and being able to step up in the pocket. Just watch from Skycam, folks. Watch this whole thing open up for him. Here he steps up. Look at the lanes that he has to throw in. He can throw any place he wants to.
And the thing is also, is he's looking downfield, which means the secondary has to respect the look. And then he dumps it down. A lot of times quarterbacks go to their checkdowns too quickly and don't give the defense a chance to react.
Martin. Nice cut to get behind the block of Kevin Mawai. And that offensive line, particularly on pass protection, has been absolutely brilliant. Fabini, the left tackle, has started all 15 games. The big boost, Dave Zott coming back from injury. Great pulling guard. Kevin Mawai, the Pro Bowl center. Thomas is the right guard. And Kareem McKenzie is the right tackle.
And Mike, you're talking about that offensive line you mentioned on that last play. The center, Kevin Mawai, was the guy that was out in front of Curtis Martin on the sweep.
That's why he'll be heading for the Pro Bowl.
This guy's a great center.
Another first down for the Jets. Empty backfield. Flanker screen to Richie Anderson, and he wants to throw. Intended for Coles, beautifully covered by New England. Ty Law and Tabucky Jones weren't buying it.
I always think, Joe, when they throw the ball out to a back like that, and it's his turn to pass, he's passing. I don't care if they got 8 guys on it. I'm throwing the ball. That's my job. I only get to throw it once or twice a year. Here it comes. Look at this. Look at the coverage. The coverage is phenomenal. At least he threw the ball out of the end zone.
If you're a quarterback, you can't throw this ball. But if you're a running back, you don't get many chances. But look at the spiral.
It's a great throw, but it's
a tight spiral by Richie Anderson.
Style points, but nothing else. Knocked out of bounds for a short gain is the tight end Chris Baker.
A lot of times when I look at plays like that differently. You do it from a quarterback perspective. But when I do that, I just think that, okay, now we're going to make the defense really think that we're going to throw some junk at them, and you better be prepared for whatever we got coming down there.
Remember when Paul Hackett called the pass to Lamont Jordan on 3rd down? you get a feeling that that pass there was setting up what he wanted to do with Richie Anderson.
He'd also thrown a couple other of those early. Blitz coming. Pennington rolls away from pressure. Tipped and almost picked by Leonard Myers. Excellent coverage on Crabette.
Oh. You're seeing some great work in the secondary tonight, folks.
And now John Hall will come on for a 39-yard field goal. Myers in there because Otis Smith, the regular right corner, injured, shoulder damage, and he was put on injured reserve. Hall has had 4 field goals blocked this year and 2 extra points. Got that one up in plenty of time, hooking, and stayed inside the post. So we had an early exchange of touchdowns. Now we've had an exchange of field goals. And it's 17-10 New York, Foxborough Stadium.
Which wasn't stunning.
No, it wasn't. Stunning is not the word you'd think of. But this place is gorgeous. Robert Kraft spent $325 million of his own money to build the stadium. The state provided the infrastructure. Did a magnificent job with it. Falk from the 9. Already has a kickoff return for a touchdown. Won't get another. Stopped at the 29. Let's check in with Chris Berman.
Michael, I guess the Bengals' time is December. Nicholas Lucci, a touchdown. They've tied the Saints at 13-0, but in true Cincinnati fashion, they missed the extra point. But later on, at home against the Saints, Lucci makes his point. The icky shuffle even. And the Bengals shock the Saints 20-13.
Is that the Nicholas Lucci?
Yes, it is. That is him. Yeah.
Who's the other one?
The Lucci's, you know that.
Smith, Compton in front. Out to the 37. Sam Cowart on the stop.
We talk about a lot of teams having fast linebackers. Talk about the Denver Broncos and the speed of their linebackers. You got Sam Cowart, you've got Marvin Jones, and Mo Lewis. Lewis is almost 260. Jones runs around 245. Cowart's probably the smallest of the bunch. These guys make up for their lack of speed with a lot of experience. Not that they're slow, but they really read keys well and can get to a ball carrier in the flat.
Smith this time on the ground and wedges his way out to the 40. Should be enough for a first down.
And now they'll start throwing a little bit more with 3:30 to go in the quarter. I just really believe the Patriots at some point have to challenge this Jet defense down the field. You've got to try and go up top.
That's only their 3rd first down of the first half. Reverse to Patton. And Patton out to the 47-yard line. Ducks under Donnie Abraham and Nick Ferguson.
You know, you just wonder about why they're not going down the field. Now, it's not because they don't have any speed to get down the field, because they do. They have Brown and they have Patton, and they can get downfield. But I think that the problem with this football team right now is in their offensive line. I think they're having a terrible time blocking. And what's happening with the Jets is they're not really sending anybody but the 4 down linemen. They're not blitzing.
And they're getting enough pressure with those 4 to make it interesting for Tom Brady. Antoine Smith on the toss. Close to another first down. Marvin Jones made the tackle. Nice block by Compton on the corner.
I'll tell you, I just love the way these guys unload. They're on both teams.
You know what, Paul? I don't think Tom Brady is right. I look at him and I just don't see the fire. You see the fire in Chad Pennington. You see him get all excited. Tom Brady just sort of wanders around out there and looks lethargic.
Up the half, Chris Berman will have the Toyota halftime show, and we'll have our fastest 3 minutes in television, all the highlights, the big sticks, and the Broncos-Raiders rivalry finally turns the Oakland Raiders way. Congratulations to them on a big win today.
What a job Bill Callahan's done taking over a good football team and making them better.
And congratulations to those guys who are going to get pneumonia for Christmas. Brady under pressure, hit as he throws, and it's out of bounds. John Abraham putting the pressure on.
Well, the thing about John Abraham is he doesn't quit. You take a look at it. You know, there's John in the backfield. Abraham's. He doesn't quit, and he's gone. Here comes Brady. He's rolling right out into Abraham.
When you saw some leadership from Abraham after that, too, because Josh Evans was jawing at Brady, and Abraham just reached up and grabbed him to get him out of there. Dangerous pass, goes whistling over the head of David Givens, and if Aaron Beasley is thinking about the ball instead of the man, he's gone.
And if Kevin Falk catches this thing, it's going to be dangerous for him because John Abraham is going to absolutely kill him. If he catches that thing, look who he's running into.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he is running dead straight into 94. He'd be headed down Highway 94.
All you're doing
for a train wreck
is saying thank you, thank you.
Wow.
3rd and 10. They blitz. Brady under pressure again, lays this one up and dropped. David Givens dropped the ball. What a throw by Brady.
I'm going to tell you what, you can't throw this ball any better. You have to catch this. This is one of those babies where you don't catch it, you just leave your uniform and go right up into that tunnel and get out of here. Look at this ball. Is this perfect or not? I mean, that you can't put the ball any better than that. He looked it in.
He does. Yeah, well, he watched it go is what he did. You're right, though, Paul. You can't throw it any better. And I think that's the Patriots have to do more of.
Moss again deep and a beautiful high floater that Moss lets go, and it kicks into the end zone. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, Chad Pennington told us on Friday the key to tonight's game was going to be connect on 2 long balls, one of them for a touchdown. Mission already accomplished early in this game. He hits his go-to guy, Lavernius Coles. The two of them always on the same page. Coles told me before the game, it's almost like they read each other's minds. Then this play, the touchdown to Santana Moss, a beautiful play-action fake. Ty Law told us when Moss is on the field, they all holler, watch out for 83. Pennington spreading it around, always seems to see the field. Mobility, toughness, he's getting it all done tonight.
Thank you, Susie. He has had a spectacular first half for the Jets, and he's got Santana Moss flanked out to the right this time. Corbett is in the slot. Beck split out. Pennington steps up from the pressure, throws, and Moss can't make the catch. Terrell Buckley is right there. T-Buck nearly had another interception.
You know how many guys they had around Santana Moss?
2 men.
17.
Now, you talk about receivers always catching the ball. Sometimes you have to play defensive back. That was a good case of Santana Moss knocking the ball out of the hands of Terrell Buckley.
Two other guys.
Buckley's got 4 interceptions, and he doesn't play a whole lot.
And how many times has T-Buck's career been declared over by somebody, and he just continues to play brilliantly whenever he gets the opportunity? Draw play, Martin. Ouch. Stopped at the 22.
Well, if I were New England, I'd take a timeout. You've got a couple left.
I don't know why they waited. I mean, it's funny. The play, you'd think that you'd get your defensive players together on the sidelines. You say, okay, at the beginning of this series, this is what happens. If we get an incomplete on first down, and they run it on second, I want you to call a timeout right now. They let 15 seconds just run off the clock as they looked over trying to get it done. Herm Edwards, on the other hand, he's got to make a decision. He's got to decide whether they put the ball up in the air, try and pick up the first down, or run the play and make them use their last timeout, because remember, New England lost one on a challenge earlier in the half. I think you try and go for the first down.
But don't you also think if you're going to throw it deep in your territory at this time, you throw a little swing pass, you throw a screen, you throw something that's going to be safe?
I think if you find Wayne Corbett, you got a chance of having it be safe. So maybe he goes in the slot for you, and he works inside against the linebackers and the nickelbacks.
Moss come off on a possession down, and Kevin Swain will come in.
Wayne Kravet's lined up in the backfield in the slot real close, so top right of your screen.
And it's a draw play instead that is going to be just shy of a first down, as Mike Vrabel is there to make the play.
Mike Vrabel is there, and I just thought that Curtis Martin might have had just a little bit more to hold his balance and pick up the first down, because that hole was there. Vrabel is the guy that saves it.
And New England has used its final timeout of the half with 1:11 on the clock. Check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, earlier this season, Curtis Martin hit the 10,000-yard mark. You know, we know he doesn't spend a lot of time looking at stats, but this one means so much because he says it's built on what he values the most: consistency. Every year he works to improve on some part of his game, fine-tune it, and of course his teammates so impressed this season, as Joe mentioned earlier, playing with not just one sprained ankle this season, but two. He has never complained, never an excuse for Curtis Martin.
And one of the amazing things about him, Susie, is the single-season record holder in rushing yards for both the Patriots and the Jets. Brown on the return, slammed down at the 36 after a 13-yard kick. Next Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern, join Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. They'll have NFL prime time for you. Then Brad Johnson, Warren Sapp, and the Bucks go to Champaign to take on Brian Urlacher and the Bears on ESPN's Sunday Night Football at 8:30, and the Bucks may well be playing for home field advantage in that game.
I think that Brad Johnson got caught up in the Michael Vick hype of this season, because Brad Johnson is a Pro Bowler.
Couldn't agree more.
Second-rated quarterback in the NFC, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Michael Vick is not there as a quarterback, but I think Michael's a great player, but as a quarterback, Brad Johnson certainly deserves a Pro Bowl.
Four-man rush. Pressure on Brady. Hit as he throws.
I agree with you.
Behind Brown, and once again is Josh Evans.
I agree with my pal. I agree with you, except for one thing Michael doesn't. See, Michael got a $2 million bonus for going to the Pro Bowl.
Michael doesn't mind. Michael's tickled with that.
He doesn't care that you don't care that he goes.
He doesn't care whether Brad goes or not.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, Michael Vick is a phenomenon. I mean, he could have gone as a running back. You got to create a new category, like a, one player, a special player selected type of category.
They have that. They got special teams.
Now you go to special players.
Short gain out to Patton. Taken out of bounds by Donnie Abraham.
You know, guys, I'm excited already for the second half of this football game, because I don't believe the New England Patriots, with so much at stake, having to play Miami here next week, can continue this type of a game plan. I think they've got to do something to attack the New York Jets defense. They've got nowhere doing what they've been doing.
Well, first of all, the secondary is covering very well for the Jets, and the defensive line, they're getting into Tom Brady's face. Now, I don't know what else that he can do. Here they come. He just got hit again and was lucky to get that ball away.
And Kevin Falk was dragged down immediately by James Darling. Excellent coverage by him, and it's short of a first down.
John Abraham, number 94, top of your screen. Take a look at this. I mean, you don't have time to throw the ball. Here he comes again. You don't have time. Matt Light is the guy that's supposed to be blocking him, and they're going to get Brady killed.
But the only deep ball that they've thrown could have been caught by David Givens for a big play.
I agree.
That's why I can't wait. I'm really curious to see what happens in the second half. What are the Pats going to do in the second half to try and create and generate some offense?
Well, remember, if they win both of these games tonight and next week against Miami, they would win the division outright and be in a much better shape going into the playoffs. The Jets, of course, have to win both and get some help.
Now, you saw those stats, okay? Chad Pennington's numbers versus Tom Brady's. Remember, at the end of the first quarter, Chad Pennington had like 160 yards passing,
right?
Okay, and 11 for 11. Now, he's only completed about 30 yards of passing, so the Pats defense has done the job.
I'll tell you, a lot of teams, when you're ahead by 7 points, and the clock's running out, they let it run out. Not when you got Santana Moss. The Jets took a timeout because they want him to handle the ball one more time.
They forced the punt on 4th and 1. Moss waits at the 10. And they'll whistle the play dead. It looked like Chris Hayes, number 29, moved.
Got that icky shuffle out there. He started moving a little bit.
False start. Offense, number 29. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
And Hayes punctuates the penalty by bumping into the referee.
Yeah, this is one of the things you don't want to do. Now you back him up a little bit further, and he may not be able to reach the end zone, and Santana Moss can do this. What I don't understand is why they don't have 2 guys on the gunner down here.
Santana Moss could have a chance to reach the other end zone if he gets a chance.
He's done it twice already this year on punt returns.
I think because they're going to return this thing right.
No, I kick it short.
Short kick that he's not going to be able to get to. Only a 27-yard punt, but as long as Moss doesn't get his hands on it, maybe not a bad idea.
Ooh, the Gillette faithful going a little
testy.
restless here, a little uneasy with what they've seen. 27 seconds, you kneel down, right, Paulo?
No, I think you throw one deep. I'd send Santana Moss down deep to that secondary and let it fly.
All right.
They're talking over their options on the sideline with 27 seconds left. 2 timeouts as well.
I don't think so. I think you kneel down. You've had a good, solid half. Go into the locker room on a positive note. You wing one up there, he gets picked off. There's no telling what's going to happen.
But you're logical. You're logical, and that's what they should do. But with all that speed that they have, spread those guys out and let it fly.
They only come with 2 wide receivers, Moss to the top of your screen. Draw to Curtis Martin. They go the conservative route. He's out near the 40. And after that play, you expect they'll just let the clock run. New England can't stop the clock, and the Jets aren't going to. And that will be the end of the first half. Susie with Herman Edwards.
Your quarterback got off.
Can't do one tomorrow night. We're on a roll right now.
John Hall has it teed up for Kevin Falk. Had that 87-yard return for a touchdown. The only touchdown for New England tonight as their offense is floundered. Falk from the 16. Got a couple of blocks and taken down to 33. You know, it seems like we were with you only last night from Dallas. Wow, we were with you last night from Dallas. We're a little punchy. You're just going to have to forgive us. But what a way to get to New England and have this game.
You know, the thing about it is, and we're sitting here watching the first half, is the hitting. You know, and defensively, both these teams are doing exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, Paul, you made a great point. It reminds you of that the Denver-Miami game that we had a chance to do. It was an opportunity to watch both of these teams go at it with a lot of intensity.
Rare carry from Mark Edwards. And for the people who haven't had a chance to see Chad Pennington a whole lot this year, this is what this kid has given the team since he took over for Vinny Testaverde. He's just grown into the job week after week.
Well, his first 11 passes he completes, and you know that just says mountains about him. But he's the kind of kid, I think he's smart. He really knows his position, and he knows what everybody else is supposed to do for a young man.
Blitz. Brady hangs in there and throws to Troy Brown, who makes the catch about a yard shy of the first down marker. That's the first catch tonight for Troy Brown, who came in tied for 6th in the NFL, and he is getting up very slowly.
He gets smacked in the back after he catches the ball. This is a good throw, and this is out in a way, Joe. And if he doesn't throw it out in a way, these guys have been covered all night, so he has to throw it there.
You're right, Paul. I mean, there are very, very few spots that Tom Brady is able to try and get a completion, and the out routes have been low in the way. I still believe that there's got to be something for him over 15 yards.
Looked like Brown may have caught a knee from Donnie Abraham on the last play. Brady trying to get the first down. Sam Coward's out there. Brady beat him to the sticks.
That wasn't a broken play, folks. That was designed.
That's where you take advantage of John Abraham. You like the fact that Abraham's going to be aggressive. All right, you get him on the ground. Nice job by Mike Compton getting him on the ground, giving Brady a chance to get outside.
That's the second big block that Compton has had this night.
But did you see Abraham? He was knocked down, got back up, and still almost made the play.
Oh, the guy's got a motor. Brady has to sidestep the rush and then tosses it. A little push pass, incomplete. Let's go to Susie Culver.
Well, I talked to Bill Belichick after the half. Asked him what his impressions were of Chad Pennington, who didn't play in the first meeting. He said that was pretty much as expected. They just need to cover better. As for his own offense, he said it wasn't so much the pressure on Tom Brady. It was more of his receivers stepping up, making some plays, especially on third down, some major drops on third down. That's been something that has plagued this team on both sides of the ball this season.
And Susie, in a game like this, you can't afford those mistakes. The only thing they show up on the stat sheet is incompletions for the quarterbacks instead of big plays. Blitz. Brady with a screen for Edwards. Breaks a tackle. Edwards again about a half-yard shy of a first down.
But, you know, the one thing that we talked about is this pressure that the defensive line of the Jets are putting on Brady. Just take a look at now. There was a blitz. That was Sam Garza that came in. But the majority of the time, it's been four guys up front. And they were the guys that are causing all the problems. Abraham, you take a look at these guys. I mean, they don't even slow down.
Brady, however, been sacked only once.
The most important number on those numbers is the hurries. Tom Brady not able to really set his feet. He's had 5 of them.
3rd and 1. Antoine Smith stuck and then dives forward. This will be close.
This is where Antoine Smith, instead of going straight forward, he had to go. I mean, he went out to his left. Watch what he does here. This you don't do. Go straight. Don't cut yourself back to the outside, because if you don't get your shoulders square, there's no way you have any power.
Wonderful play by Marvin Jones, just cutting in. Did he make it, Paul? Quick?
No.
He didn't. He's short by how much? You're so good.
About 2 inches.
You are so good.
2 inches.
You are so
2 inches.
good.
How much? How much?
2 inches.
Don't get nervous, boys. I tell you.
And the fans want him to go for it.
I got the greatest eye. This blue one is unbelievable.
The brown one's the one that makes the
That's the one I see out of him.
Bill Belichick has made his decision. The punt team nowhere to be seen. 4th and inches.
Tom Brady has been very effective on quarterback sneaks. He's scored touchdowns with them. They spread the formation from time to time and let him just sneak.
Here's another thing I don't understand in the stadium. Why does everybody stand up? If some people in front of you stand up, then you have to stand up. If they all just sat down, you can all see it.
They're excited. They're excited for their team.
They're cold. Mike thinks they're just cold.
It's the hot chocolate.
4th and inches. Smith, first down.
And more.
Cowart was there, but he couldn't prevent him from getting the first down.
You see the difference? The difference in a runner, you don't take a guy like Antoine Smith and try to get him outside on the short yardage play because he can't get himself squared up. But watch this now. Here's the blocking at the line of scrimmage. But look at his shoulders. There he is totally square to the line of scrimmage. And Mark Edwards, number 44, gets a decent block. But see that? Yeah, that's all he has to do. I don't know if anybody can stop him.
Joe Andruzzi, Adrian Clem, the right guard, right tackle.
Longest drive of the night so far for New England. This will be the 8th play. And now showing a little power football with Smith again.
You know, we talked about this in the opening, about what this team did. You know, they used Brady at the beginning. They rode his arm right at the beginning of the season. But the thing about it, they kind of almost abandoned the running game. But this guy right here, Antoine Smith, you're only down by 7 points. If he can put you in a position like he just has done here, they're in a 2nd down and 4. This makes it easy, Joe.
Smith only averaging about 3 yards a carry in the game, 12 for 38. But they're working on that Jets defense now. Again, it'll bring up a 3rd and 1 as he dives forward. Tackle made by James Reed out of Iowa State, number 93.
You think that one of the reasons that they are running the ball, I mean, they're running it effectively, is because Brady is not throwing the ball well?
No, I don't think. I think this is their decision. I think you really hit the nail on the head in the beginning when we were talking about it in the open. You felt like for them to be the team they need to be, that they would have to rely on Antoine Smith to get him into the situations of 2nd and 4 and 3rd and short. But the big key is to convert it. It's one thing to get in that position. It's another thing to be able to convert it.
They've converted them all on this drive, and Brady with that quarterback keeper will have another first down just shy of the 30-yard line. And now tempers Flair after the play.
The New England Patriots are so committed to running the football
that they're using 6 offensive linemen.
That's the big thing. They've taken a tight end out and decided they're going to go with the big guys.
Brady caught and then dropped by Troy Brown. It will be a complete pass.
I don't know. Did he have possession of it?
I think he did.
And you have to make a football move.
That's right. That's the key, Paul. You are right on top of things.
I thought they were all football moves, but
little fake. Troy Brown backs off.
No.
Oh, he never
not
had
a catch.
That's review it. No, it's an incompletion.
He doesn't have control of the ball.
Never. That's what I said.
It's a 2-yard gain. You're not going to risk a timeout with that, are you?
I don't care. It's 2nd down and 10 versus 2nd down and 8.
Brady under pressure, hit as he throws. Really hammered by Marvin Jones.
This is a broken play because Troy Brown, number 80, winds up coming in the backfield looking like there's supposed to be some kind of a play action fake. And now you see he and Christian Fourier talking to one another, saying, what's going on? Watch number 80. Number 80 is going to come from the left side. And now all of a sudden, he stops. Marvin Jones does a great job. Now there goes David Patton down the field. He's covered. But the big thing was Troy Brown just sort of getting stuck in the backfield.
3rd and long. Blitz is coming. Brady again under pressure. Steps up, has room to run. 15 and out of bounds. They came so close to the sack, missed him, and then Brady scrambles for 14 yards.
Mo Lewis had him.
I want you to look at his eyes. This is a different quarterback than played the first half. He's moving around with a lot more pop, a lot more intensity. Now he decides he wants to take off and run with the football. This guy here, he's really into this game now. It's like he got a little wake-up call at halftime. Sees what he needs to do, looking down the field, checking people out, saying, okay, I got enough. Let me get out of bounds.
Another big first down for the Patriots, driving for what would be a tying touchdown. Smith barrels through a hole to the 8.
We got a little altercation.
Well, if you're a New England Patriot, now is not the time to wind up with a 15-yard personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
John Abraham, and it looked like Adrian Clem, who's in there at the right tackle for the injured Kenyatta Jones, were hooked up. There's been a few of those so far tonight.
There is no love in here with these guys. There's Abraham. Look at this helmet.
A little bit of everybody.
Oh, yeah, let's all get into this thing. It's going to get nasty here in a little bit.
Christmas spirit, bah humbug.
It's a good thing it is the Christmas season. Heaven knows what would have happened already.
You know, and I tell you what, when they went for it on 4th down up here, this has got to be all fourth down territory the whole way. Now, I'm going to say kick a field goal, right?
If they don't get the first down here or get an opportunity for it, I think you take the points on the board because now your offense can move. There's only 6:30 going to be 6:40 in the 3rd quarter. You've got to feel like you're going to be able to get at least 2 or 3 or 4 more possessions to get some points on the board.
Yeah, but they haven't been down here this offense.
16th play of the drive. They only had 29 plays the entire first half. Brady, touchdown, Christian Fourier. It was beautifully set up by all the other third and shorts they had on the drive when they ran and made them all.
I'll tell you what, this whole thing is set up. This last play by Antoine Smith. Watch the fake and watch what everybody does. They go right at Antoine Smith. Fourier is wide open over the middle.
And watch the job Fourier does on Marvin Jones, number 55. Marvin Jones thinks he's there to block him, and he goes right by him.
Christian Fourier only has 25 catches this year, but 7 of them have been for touchdowns. And the defending Super Bowl champions have come back to tie it up. All the beautiful decorations just in time for the holiday. And what an impressive drive by Tom Brady and company. Took almost 9 minutes off the clock. They went 66 yards to tie it up. Morton on the return. Has the outside, turns on the Jets, and is out of bounds at the 33. Can Pennington respond after Brady ties it up? 17. Curtis Martin. Lawyer Malloy makes the stop at the 36. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, we've gotten just a little taste of how intense and heated this rivalry is. You know that it's almost like a soap opera, and so many players have switched back and forth. But what do you think? Bill Belichick grabs all these former Jets to play on his defense. Wing Corbett said it's kind of funny when you look down the roster. He told me he was happy for Bill's success, but on a night like this, when 2 teams are fighting for their playoff lives, you're not patting anybody else on the back, that's for sure.
No, you'll be happy to shake his hand afterward. Martin again dives out to the 39-yard line, 71 yards rushing for Curtis Martin. He is approaching 1,000.
Just like we saw Charlie Wise, the offensive coordinator of the Patriots, decide to try and pound the ball. Paul Hackett comes out and does the same thing. The Jets have proven they can go to a hostile environment and win. They did it in San Diego, which really, I think, suits them well for coming here to play here.
Isn't it funny when you see guys get away from the rushing game? When it gets down to the last 2 weeks of the season, the playoffs are coming up, they find it again.
That's what's going to be important as you go through January.
Third and 4 for Pennington. Dumps it to Martin. Doesn't get the first down. Sensational play by Victor Green.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy making this outstanding play. Victor Green, his job is Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin sets up in the backfield first. Now he's going to slip out. Chad Pennington is looking downfield, can't find anybody. Now he sees Martin. But look at Victor Green. I mean, you're just doing exactly what you were told to do.
The former Jet makes a big play against his old teammates. Troy Brown waits back near the 20 for Matt Turk to punt. Pretty kick. Brown at the 20. Jets lost the ball.
Jets have it. The Jets have got it.
Nick Ferguson pounced on it when Brown lost it.
Well, you know what's really so frustrating? You work so hard to get yourself back into a ball game. Then your defense comes out and does a tremendous job, and then something like this happens.
Chad Morton with the hit.
And instead of trying to make a move, Troy Brown just really tries to protect himself. He's better off trying to just take the move and do something with it.
So Chad Morton shows you not only can he return kicks, he can cover them as well.
Mike Westroff, the special teams coach of the Jets, told me, he said he is my best guy on punts. He doesn't understand why he didn't get to the Pro Bowl.
He's had a great year.
How many guys you want to send over there?
Well, I wouldn't mind Santana Moss and Chad Morton.
Pennington, Coles, Nice spin move, but Ty Law, one of the best there is, right there to drag him down.
That's the first time we have really called Lavernius Cole's name, and the reason why is because of Ty Law. Ty Law has matched up on him around the field. Up top, Law gives him a little bit of room. Lavernius Coles, against most people, would have been able to make the turn and head upfield. Not against an all-pro corner like Ty Law.
That's his second catch, the first in the second half.
First one was a touchdown.
Second and a yard. They try to pick it up with Curtis Martin, and Martin lunges for the first down. It'll be first and goal for the Jets.
You know, going up in the middle is not a place for the timid. You know,
no.
When you look at Curtis Martin, and he has had bad ankles this year, a lot of different injuries, and this guy truly has played hurt, and you've got to give an awful lot of credit. But watch him go into this hole. You talk about no regard for your body, but regard for the first down. Look at this. That's neat.
And he's safe to send inside, too. He does not cough up the football. Got to the 5.
I want to show you Dave's eye. Watch how low he gets. Everybody talks about getting a low center of gravity. He's right there. He's the left guard, number 6. He's going to come out, and he's going to pull around the corner. But look at how low he is to the ground. He leads Richie Anderson. Look at that, right in behind him. Curtis Martin knows where he's going to run.
The guy that's low to the ground.
You wonder how, if you play for more than a couple of years, you can get up out of that stance.
They spent a lot of time rehabbing.
Second and goal, Jets. Pennington to throw, incomplete, intended for Corbett, and he was covered by Roman Pfeiffer, who's had a good game from his weak side linebacker spot.
We saw the Patriots get the ball to Christian Fourier, their tight end, on the last series down here. Anthony Beck, the Jet tight end, has only, again, 25 catches, 5 of them for touchdowns. You get down around the red area, when you run the West Coast offense like Paul Hackett does, the tight end becomes a very important part of getting in the end zone for you.
Pennington threw for 164 yards in the first quarter, only 42 the rest of the game.
Look at the guy that's in the slot. It's Curtis Martin, along with Corbett.
Corbett looks confused, and Pennington is going to take a timeout. They'll face a big third and goal when we come back. Muffed punt knocked away by Chad Morton. The reason the Jets have a third and goal at the 5. The game could swing on this possession. Lamont Jordan checks in as the running back on third down.
That's Corbett right in the slot right there.
Pennington looks that way. Incomplete to Anderson. Pfeiffer knocks it away. The man named for former quarterback Roman Gabriel has had a huge night on defense.
Well, I'll tell you, this is just an outstanding play by Pfeiffer. You just read, you can't grab anybody, and all you're able to do, this is like a defensive, look like a defensive back play. He's on Anderson. He just reaches his arm in.
There's Santana Moss saying, what about me? What about me? There's nobody around me.
Couldn't find him.
John Hall for the lead. 23 yards. Straight down the middle. So the Jets convert a field goal, but not a touchdown out of the turnover, and lead by 3.
Oh, boy, is that beautiful?
That is gorgeous.
Or where we're staying over in Rhode Island. Santa's working the parabolic. That's a mic. Oh, what?
Way to
Got to
go,
make money
Joe.
for all that reindeer food. They're going to eat a lot this week. Falk from the 8. Both takes a shot as he got to the 26. And it was Gerald Soule, the fullback, who nailed it. 3-point game in New England. 1:45 to go, third quarter of play from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Jets on top, 20-17. Both teams fighting for playoff position. Brady quickly out to David Givens for a few. Here's our game track. If you joined us late, Chad Pennington off to a tremendous start. He's cooled off a little, but still has 2 touchdowns and 206 yards. The numbers starting to pile up for Curtis Martin. 78 yards. He's approaching 1,000 for the season. And Tom Brady, who got off to a very slow start, had got something going on the last couple of drives. They'll whistle this play dead as they go to the same play to Givens.
Well, that one they just picked up 5 for. They just
prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Adrian Clem, and that's the first offensive penalty against New England tonight.
We've had a chance to talk to Bill Belichick earlier this week. One of the things he pointed out, he said, you know, the Jets don't give up big plays. I still don't believe you don't try, even though they have it. The one big shot they had with Givens, they had a chance for a big play.
Jets come with a 4-man rush. Brady underneath. An excellent coverage again. I mean, just linebackers everywhere. Mo Lewis and Sam Coward right there to hold Antoine Smith to a very short gain.
What the linebackers are doing, they're just getting enough depth, about 6 to 8 yards. And if you want to run in front of them, that's okay, because that's all you're going to do is catch the ball and you're going to get whacked. They're not going to give up the 10-yard play.
They'd rather not give up 5 here. Brady goes down, and Abraham gets the easy sack.
He tripped over Matt Light's foot, the left tackle.
Well, yeah. Let me explain how that happened. And I know you saw it. When John Abraham took Light and drilled him all the way back to Brady, so that's when he tripped.
Matt Light got a little further back than he was supposed to.
Watch this. Watch Matt Light. He's on your left-hand side. And Abraham, there he is. He just threw him back and let Light tackle Brady.
He just steps on his left foot. Tom Brady trying to slide up.
Now, does Matt Light get the sack?
No, he's on your team.
John Abraham has 1.5 sacks tonight. Give him 10 for the year. And the third quarter clock runs out before they can punt it away. The end of the third quarter here in New England. The Jets 20, Patriots 17. The Jets jumped on top with 14 points in the first quarter. It's been nip and tuck ever since. Right now, Nip leads. It's 20-17.
And Santana Moss is going to wind up probably fielding the ball around the 40-yard line.
Uh-oh, he's going to have a chance.
Moss back to the 29, lost the ball and has to cover up. Got a peek at Chris Hayes, who covered him after the muff, a loss of 5. This game is so important to both of these ball clubs. Miami and New England chasing them. The Jets at 7-7. The Buffalo Bills down at 7-8. They are gone. If the Patriots win both of these games, Miami next week, they would clinch the division. If the Patriots win tonight, the Jets and Baltimore would both be knocked out of the playoffs.
You know, at the beginning of the year, Joe, that was the division they said it was going to be the tightest of all of them.
Pennington, good play fake, then under pressure, Richie Anderson across the 30 to about the 31, takes a big hit from Ty Law. Well, these guys are playing tonight. There may have been a little bit lack of this kind of intensity last night, the game we had between Philadelphia and Dallas. Certainly no lack of intensity in this.
A lot more at stake in this game. We were talking about New Orleans and how they let it get away. Miami really could have ended this thing on Saturday had they beat Minnesota. A lot of credit to Mike Tice. But now all of a sudden, every game is the playoffs. And I think this is going to take its toll, because now you're looking at the playoffs being 6 games instead of 3 or 4.
Curtis Martin wedges out a couple. They need to go just past the 35 for a first down.
You know, the thing, to carry on what Joe is talking about, the thing about it is when you're playing this hard on every game because you're not in yet. So next week, but the other teams in the NFC, I mean,
they've been cruising.
Yeah, they can cruise. They can rest some guys. San Francisco did it yesterday. They're going to be able to rest some people as they get along. These teams in the AFC can't because they don't have any idea, except for the Raiders they are in now.
I want to ask you something after this play. I got a question for you on that.
I'll stick around.
Will you stay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
3rd and 2. Jordan has the first down. And now for the lightning round between Joe and Paul.
Here's my question. Is it better to keep on playing at an intensity level like this, or is it better to be able to rest some players that maybe get 2 or 3 weeks off and they lose the edge a little bit?
The only players that I think that you would ever rest going into the playoffs, because as we know, somebody's going to get a bye. A couple teams will get a bye, but the rest of players that are nicked, only those guys that are nicked.
Everybody else plays?
You bet. All your starters play. Just the guys that you know that want to give a little bit of time off because of being of an injury.
Pennington blitz from the blind side, throws complete to Coles. Ty Law came a long, long way on the blitz and never got there, and it's a gain of 17.
This is one of the staples of a Bill Belichick, Romeo Cannell defense, the coordinator and the head coach. Ty Law comes from so far away, whether you're a corner or a safety. It takes such a long time. Pennington knows it's coming. He hangs in, makes the throw. And you'll notice, even under that kind of pressure, with the corner inside, he still throws the ball to the outside shoulder. Unbelievable accuracy and poise from Chad Pennington.
Poise is a great word there. He knew he was going to get whacked right in the chops. Pennington again has to step up inside of McGinnis. Now he tries to run and gets down to the 45-yard line. Bobby Hamilton chasing the play to make the tackle.
When you're talking about poise and heads-up play, even though he only picks up 2 yards on this play, this is heads up. A lot of young quarterbacks that start to throw the ball away, take a sack, but what he does, place to go. Now he tucks that ball away from the defender, and then picks up what he can, and that's it.
The other thing he reminds me of is Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia is a quarterback that always steps up into the pocket, is always moving forward to make a play.
2nd and 8. Curtis Martin on the draw. Gets 4.
It's important that New England gets the ball away from the Jets. The New York Jets defense has not given up a touchdown in the 4th quarter in the last 8 games. So it's important that New England doesn't allow the Jets to go up by 6 or get a touchdown, because it's going to be tough for New England to mount that charge.
And there's like 4.5 minutes are gone in this 4th quarter, and the defense is still resting on the sideline. That's going to help.
They spread the field, 5 wide receivers. Pennington dumps it over to the middle. Richie Anderson, first down at the New England 36. There is a marker down right at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal shift, offense. 2 offensive backs were moving at the same time, had never set. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Boy, what a big call that is. They get the first down, and now they're going to face the 3rd and long.
I'll tell you, one of the things we're seeing here tonight is Chad Pennington going back to the use of Richie Anderson.
Well, I mean, last week against Chicago, he's got a drive going to win that ball game, and Wayne Corbett goes airborne on the 10-yard line. The ball slips away from him. Chad Pennington has been in a position to win football games for his team and really has delivered in every instance. In this case, he's just trying to pick up first downs and keep the clock going.
3rd and 9. Blitz. They give Pennington time, and he throws to Coles. Flag is down. That may be a face mask on top of it. What a great job by the Jets offensive line.
Well, I'll tell you what they did is they had the two guys in the backfield that stayed at home. And that's Curtis Martin and Richie Anderson stayed at home to block and enabled Chad Pennington to slide back out to his left.
Personal foul, grabbing a face mask, defense.
That's 15.
15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
All right, let's just take a look at the offensive line first, so these guys pick up, and then look at 28 and 20. Look at these guys. Curtis Martin steps up. What a great job he does, and that pass is perfect.
Look at the touch. Looks a little bit like Vinny Testaverde when he throws a football. Got the high release, the tight spiral. The other thing that you just mentioned about the back staying in the backfield, Paul, on every third down in this football game, third and long, that's what the Jets have done. They've kept both Richie Anderson and Curtis Martin in the block.
It's a big conversion on 3rd and 9. And now back to Curtis Martin. Martin approaching 1,000 yards.
Now
he
watch,
has 88 tonight, 993 for the year.
Now watch Chad Pennington. We talked about the maturity of this young man. Watch him bleed the 25-second clock, the 40-second clock as it goes. Watch him bleed this thing down to snap it with 4 or 5 seconds to go.
I don't think a field goal is gonna do it for the Jets. They have to put 7 up there because you can't go up against New England with just a 6-point lead.
Pennington for the end zone. Corbett. Touchdown. Wayne Corbett with his 7th touchdown catch of the season.
I love the call. I love the aggressiveness of the offensive coordinator. And you just can't say enough about the accuracy of Chad Pennington. He's had the luxury to step up and look at the receivers. Look at this throw come in over Myers. Leonard Myers is right in perfect position, and Corbett just makes the play. Watch this ball come in. He looks too late. Just too late.
Great concentration by Corbett. In his 27-17, Pennington now up to 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. The New York Jets, fighting to stay alive, are doing just that. And they're up by 10. Have some breathing room. Falk from the 5. And finally shoved out of bounds near the 35-yard line by John McGraw. Timeout on the field. Pats down by 10. If they hope to sweep the final 2 games, beating the Jets tonight, Miami next week to take the AFC East title. Only had 1 completion for more than 10 yards tonight. Screen to Falk. And Falk picks up 11 yards.
But Chad Pennington, look at, he's 20 of 29, 256, 3 touchdowns, but the touch to this guy. When he threw the ball over to Lavernius Coles, he had to fire the ball at him. Bang, look at this shot here. Perfect spiral, the ball is there. But when he throws this in the end zone, look at how he just takes a little bit off and gets it up in the air and up over top. And Wade Corbett makes the touchdown. That's touch.
Patriots go hurry up and move into Jets territory. The Jets hustling players on and off the field as they switch defensive packages.
And you know that New England will go into are in 4-down territory, no matter where they are on the field, down by 10 with 7 and change to go.
Good protection for Brady, intended for Patton. Donnie Abraham with the interception. And Abraham gets out of bounds. The 35th career interception for Donnie Abraham. And in the last 4 years, 23 picks the best in the NFL.
Joe, I swear he looked like he was in the pattern. He looked like he was running the pattern.
That's why they got him from Tampa Bay. Snuffs out a New England threat. The Jets have the ball back in a 10-point lead. Pennington to throw on first down and completes it to Moss across the 40 to the 41. That'll be a first down.
See, now that's the way you play football offensively. You stay aggressive, and Tom Brady just struggled all night throwing the football. They decided to go up top twice. Down the lower part of your screen is David Patton. Donnie Abraham's a defensive back. Patton runs off, but I want you to watch Donnie Abraham. He never, ever allows Patton to get up top. He barely allows him to get close to him. This is a throw that Tom Brady can't make because there's nothing visually there that tells you that your guy is the receiver. Like you pointed out, Paul, looked like Abraham was the intended receiver.
Pennington again to throw. Double pumps. Richie Anderson couldn't hold it, took a shot from Lawyer Malloy.
I'll tell you, I like what I'm seeing in the Jets, and the reason I like what I'm seeing with the Jets is they haven't stopped doing what they were doing for 3 minutes. They're still, this is their game plan. This is what they're doing well. They came out, hit Santana Moss on the pass play. Now, the only problem is you got to catch it to keep the clock going.
53 minutes, 21 seconds.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. You're right. I agree.
Let me move over here by you again.
I'll tell you what.
Is he losing it?
I'll tell you what I'd like to see is a couple of running plays if you're a Jets fan and watch that clock work.
Well, you got to figure New England's going to be up there trying to stop the run.
Martin on command to the 44. Let's check with Susie.
One of the best battles on the field tonight that I've been watching is Ty Law matched up on Lavernius Coles. And Coles told me before the game it was an honor for him to be matched up against one of the best corners in the NFL. He called Ty crafty. He says, you know what? He gets away with a lot. Holds, bumps. You just have to keep playing through it. What do you think, guys? Who's gotten the best of this battle tonight?
Boy, he sure has. He's made big plays, and his emergence is what has helped the Jets dig themselves out of that terrible hole they started in.
They had 78 catches coming in. Next closest was Wayne Corbett with 44, so you know he's their go-to guy.
3rd and 7. Pennington underneath to Coles, and what a move to get the first down.
Boy,
he got away from Leonard. Myers, knew exactly where he was on the field.
But I'll tell you what, probably Joe, but I'll tell you what happened on this play. If you look at this offensive line of the Jets, New England, watch these guys. New England never gets off the line of scrimmage. Look at this. They are on the line. Not one guy moved.
And the other thing about it is you see Lavernius Coles, the ball's, again, outside shoulder. He knows where the defender is. He knows exactly where Myers is coming after him. He makes the turn back inside to pick up the first down. Now I think you start seeing some more runs.
Coles, 5 catches, 78 yards. Curtis Martin drags the pile forward. A 1,000 yards for Curtis Martin, the first 8 seasons of his career.
Leonard Myers is filling in for Otis Smith, who's been put on IR. Otis Smith had a couple of interceptions, was their big corner. Here's a young guy that's come in, tried to fill the shoes. Boy, the Jets have decided he's the guy they wanted to put the bullseye on.
It's a learning process for him.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Patriots, too.
Clock running, approaching 4.5. Martin again. Put this in perspective. Barry Sanders had 10 straight years over 1,000 to start his career. That is the all-time best. Curtis Martin is now number 2. The first 8 years of his brilliant career, he has gone over 1,000 yards. A lot of it without much attention from anybody. He is just a warrior.
You know, Paul, it goes back to what you said. 1,000 yards doesn't seem like a lot. And we've seen Emmitt Smith barely go over 1,000. We've seen Deuce Staley barely go over 1,000. Now it's Curtis Martin. These guys have missed a lot of time. I think in that case, it is important. But I agree with you. I think the number is higher for a full-time back.
Pennington, great play fake, throws underneath the catch made by Gerald Soule. He's got enough for a first down, a fresh set of plays for the Jets.
I just got to wonder what Chad Pennington, what was going through his mind. The play fake is to Curtis Martin. And when he comes out, watch this. Here's the play fake. And when he comes out, there's nobody out there with him. Everybody is over here. Now, do I throw it?
No.
No, I'll run it.
No,
I'll throw it.
That never crossed his mind.
Running it?
The other thing he is he's smart. He's not going to take any necessary hits. A guy like, for example, Chad Hutchinson, who we saw last night with the Cowboys, has to learn that. He took some unbelievable shots in that game.
Martin crosses the 30 to the 28. Now the Patriots
not. I am an
so
observer
glad.
to that situation.
I'm absolutely glad.
And I believe it's very interesting and enlightening.
Curtis Martin has cracked 100 yards for the night, as well as 1,000 for the season. And he has really come on strong late in the year because the ankle is getting better. It hampered him so much early.
Now New England takes their first time out.
Patriots in a whole lot of trouble right now. 2 timeouts left. They still need 2 scores. 2:51 to go in the game. New York trying to salt this one away. Curtis Martin fumble. Jets got it back. Curtis Martin, who never fumbles, coughed that one up. Fortunately for the Jets, they got it back. Dave Zott was right there to pounce on it.
How about
Oh, it was Jordan. No wonder.
Jordan fumbles, but Dave Zott, you talk about presence of mind. Zott picks up the ball and advances it forward.
And Lamont Jordan is down.
Here's the shot that he takes. That's helmet on a ball, and there's nothing you can do about that. Look at Zott on his knees, picks up the ball, and gets 3 yards.
That low center of gravity,
There
that
you go.
stance down around where the ground is.
Lamont Jordan, who is a wonderful change of pace running back, averaging more than 4 yards a carry, took a wicked shot and is very slow getting up.
And he's another one who has come back from being hurt. Hasn't practiced very much in the last month.
I thought I had jinxed Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Well, you didn't really say it, but we talked about the fact that he hadn't fumbled all year. That's like Wayne Corbett. Wayne Corbett went from 97 to 2001. 5 years, didn't fumble the ball. He's at 2 this year.
I don't think there's a choice. What you have is you have 4th down in an entire yard. Now the question is, see, I
kick the field goal.
Yeah, you do, because you put you up by 13.
Very
so
good.
What I'm saying is that they'd have to score 2 touchdowns to beat you.
You are.
Otherwise, hey, I'm a math major. Math major. Engineering school.
I'll call you Dr. Paul from now.
I am a doctor.
I have a Dr. Phil show, and we'll go to a Dr. Paul show.
You're not a doctor, are you?
No, sir.
I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor, and I didn't graduate.
Tom Brady checking his 2-minute list. He wears that wristband for this specific reason. In 2 minutes, it's a quick reference for Charlie Wise to be able to call the plays. The other thing is, if in the event those headsets go down, Charlie Wise has a chance to be able to signal something in, and Tom Brady can save some time on the clock.
Well, how much help the wristband will be, we don't know. They only have 1 timeout left. If the Jets get a first down here, if they would go for it, game is virtually over.
I think
you're going to kick it. This is what they're supposed to do. You bet.
Just remember, John Hall's had 4 field goals blocked this year.
And 2 extra points.
Oh, you have to bring it up, don't you?
Well, I'd say this has got to come into the decision.
Let me put it this way. You couldn't jinx Curtis Martin, and you just couldn't go without trying, could you? Okay.
It's tough to jinx a guy who's had 6 kicks blocked.
You're right.
This would be a 43-yarder. He is hit from 39 and 23 tonight.
And coming into the game, he was only 5 of 10 outside of 40 yards.
And also, you can't always lay those blocks at the feet of the field goal kicker either. He gets charged with them, but they may or may not be his fault. And Hall knocks it through. That makes it a 2-touchdown necessity for New England as the Jets go up 30-17. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, tonight, Chad Pennington, in probably the biggest game of his career against the defending champ, looked like the MVP tonight. 23 of 33, 295 yards, and 3 TDs. The first one to his go-to guy, Lavernius Cole. This was the deep ball that Pennington said they had to have, and they had it early. Deep to the end zone, and Coles comes up big. Then the play action, the Santana Moss in the end zone. And then finally, the clutch catch by Wayne Corbett. Big redemption for him after fumbling last week. Chad Pennington with an all-pro kind of night when it counts the most.
The other thing that Susie's you see there is the distribution. Chad Pennington really taking what the defense has given him. Outside, he worked against some corners, really picking on Leonard Myers, at the wide receiver spot. Tight ends coming up with the big catches when they needed it.
Tell you what, though, you got to be impressed when you sit down and talk with Chad Pennington.
Well, the Patriots also have to realize Ty Law and his teammates have to figure, all right, it all boils down to a one-game situation next week against Miami. They have to come here.
Can you imagine how crazy this AFC is? But the
parity. It's called parity.
Well, they just handed me a note. All three teams at the top of this division can still win it. I mean, they have to be some odd parameters, but all three, even with this result, would still have a chance to win the division.
Buffalo's still out, huh?
Buffalo is still out and will be until next year. Faulk from the 15. Had one big return tonight. Takes this one up to the 36.
All right, you've got one timeout if you're the New England Patriots.
All right, here's the update on the situation. If the Dolphins win next week, they win the division. If the Patriots win and the Jets win, then the Jets take the division. If the Patriots win and the Jets lose, the Patriots take the division. Is that clear to you now?
Is Buffalo still out?
They're still out.
Yeah, but the Jets get the Packers. Now, I know this was a big game, but I think going up against Brett Favre for Chad Pennington is going to be pretty huge as well.
Brady to Patton. The other thing about the Jets, with that terrible slow start, they have had to expend so much emotional energy all year long, just staying in it and staying in it and staying in it. Will they have enough left next week and beyond?
I think so, because of the young quarterback, Chad Pennington. He's a bundle of energy.
Here we go.
Keeps his teammates up. We heard Susie talk about him trying to think of ways to motivate his football team. What does he say? It isn't what he says, it's what he's doing.
Michael, just think about something. From the time we start talking to these teams back in August, what is the one thing that they said? We just got to figure out how to either win the division and get to the playoffs. So there's no way that these guys are going to be tired trying to get into the playoffs. They are keyed and ready to play.
Remember, guys, there's only two wild card spots. And you want to win your division.
Brady goes over the middle to Falk. He's at the 42.
Now he's got to ground it. Get up here and ground it. Save yourself the time. Don't let it get to 2 minutes. Get it snapped and get it down.
Oh, he saved the second.
And it's a very important second, because they really have, with the 2-minute warning and the one timeout, if they can get a score here, it's an opportunity to go to the timeout. Then you put the onus on the Jets to really just hold on to the football.
I always thought that would be a real good idea, except for one thing. It's now third down, and if they don't get it. But the other thing is, once the clock stops, it won't stop the clock until a whistle is blown, so it'll go in beyond 2 minutes.
Yeah, but only you're talking 6, 7 seconds.
Hey, I'm talking.
Don't I know that?
Quarterback keeper by Brady, knowing the clock would stop as soon as the play was over. The 2-minute warning officially comes at 1:58. We'll be back in a moment.
And my cousins, too.
Patriots have it at the 38-yard line. They need 2 touchdowns to pull this one out.
In 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Abraham may have jumped offside. Brady throws to the sideline, incomplete.
Well, they'll catch a break on the flag, because the clock will be stopped as far as the time goes.
Offside. Defense number 94 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Next Sunday night at 7:30. Join us for prime time at 7:30. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, then Brad Johnson Warren Sapp and the Bucks go to Champaign to take on Brian Urlacher and the Bears. It's ESPN Sunday Night Football game at 8:30, our season finale.
Whacker Urlacher, man.
He can play, Ken.
He can play. I'll tell you, he can play sideline to sideline. Goal line to goal line.
Brady to Falk. He'll get out of bounds in front of Ray Mickens at the 20.
You know, guys, we've done the two games last night and tonight, and what a fabulous job our technical crew has done. I mean, our cameramen, everybody flying up, staying up all night to get the job done, to be able to show you the pictures and get this place ready for us to do our job. Kudos to everybody that really works so hard in back-to-back day situations. There they are.
I'll tell you what.
The Warriors.
They did a great job.
There they are.
I still wouldn't write this game off yet. With 1:48, one timeout left, and they only need 2 touchdowns.
Only need 2.
That's all they only, and they're inside the 20.
Jets would like to keep them in bounds and force them to use a little time on these. Falk on the draw, and that will use up a little time.
Well,
that's an odd call.
They're taking their last timeout, which is even odder.
That may have been a costly choice of plays. Back after this. Old Flag here in New England. A very traditional Christmas and a classic New England battle in the AFC East between the Jets and New England. New England won the first game, by the way, 44-7. Little payback for the Jets tonight.
I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody in the entire world.
Yes, sir.
And we had
you too, Joe.
I'm in the world. Thanks, Paulie.
Not missing them.
This time they faked the draw play, and Brady throws for Patton. Donnie Abraham right there, and it's incomplete.
I want to go back to that last play when they chose to run the football. They waste a timeout, but basically you keep the clock going. You're 20 yards from the end zone, so you don't figure Kevin Falk's going to get in. I don't understand the call at that point. I think you have to keep trying to save as much time as you can if you do score, because if you can get it back with an onside kick, it gives you a question. That's one Charlie Wise. I'm not sure what he was thinking on that.
Brady goes to the shotgun. Pump faked and throws down the middle, incomplete, intended for Falk, into the middle of heavy traffic. James Darling was back there. Sam Garnes was back there. A whole host of white and green shirts.
Well, James Darling just is waiting to take a shot at Falk. Watch this. Catch, miss, bang.
Tom Brady pumps to the right, and Kevin Falk actually had a shot at that ball. Of course, so did James Darling have a shot at Kevin Falk.
You know what I like what the Jets are doing on defense, the guys in the end zone? At least they're getting to the back of the end zone. That's where most of the catches are made.
Third and goal, another draw. Falk taken down at the 5. The clock will continue to run.
Now you can't ground it.
Holy cow.
And it's 4th down.
I'm sorry.
4th down and goal.
What is that, 2 draws in the last 4 plays?
Right, and you only have 1 timeout, and you still have a minute and change to go.
They had to use the time. I mean, I don't understand. Well,
now they've got to score on this pass. To the goal line, but incomplete, intended for Fourier.
Boy, did he. Darling, again, just whacked him.
Strange series of calls here on the last possession for the New England Patriots.
I just didn't see the Patriots giving themselves a chance to get in the end zone with those calls. Here's one where he tries to gun it into Fourier coming from the right. He guns it in the middle. He's still not going to be in the end zone. And James Darling just sort of hanging out in the middle again, waiting for anybody in a blue shirt that he can tattoo.
What a huge, huge win for the New York Jets.
The Jets now will go 9 games, 9, without giving up a 4th quarter touchdown. That's pretty good defense. The first 5 games of the season, the Jets gave up 150 yards rushing. Since that time, they've only given up around 90